Hi everybody, it's Tuesday here. I'm super excited. Just got done talking with Al, Beartooth Science. He's my design guy to get some logos and some merchandise going. We're gonna get some vinyl on these things, get the DS stickers out of there and the Razor stickers out of there. I did get a K&N air filter to fit the Pro, that PL-1014. Thanks to O'Reilly's, got that today. It is Tuesday. We need to rock and roll. I got to figure out this engine light thing. Got to change the control arm for VANESSA. On Amazon, we could find one for $164 from our local dealer. $140. Should be here by Friday. So we'll need to get that swapped out. And then we're going to do something kind of crazy. We're going to try some new rubber too. Both rigs will have new rubber. Beef's got new rubber. Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on for this weekend. Gotta get ready for Saturday. Keep watching. Okay, so I pulled the K&N air filter out of the box here, and I'm just kind of comparing it to the factory one. Physical size seems very similar, maybe a little bit taller. You can see that. So like a little bit physically bigger, a little bigger in diameter, a little bit taller. It has an actual hose clamp. I like that. Yeah, so let's get it put in. Boom, she's in there. I really like that. Fits really nice. I like the hose clamp. Obviously a better seal there. Fits really good. We'll get her buttoned up here. Make sure my seals are all cleaned up around the edges here. The cover's cleaned up. All the ducting's clean as I could get it. Going back together. What's up, people? Alright, it's Thursday. It's February 3rd. We need to... Sorry, trying to open the door here without spilling my coffee. We need to get things rolling here. I've got a bunch of stuff to do. Set my coffee down there. Yeah, I got to get this rear figured out here where the noise from the blow-off valve is coming from. Get that heat shield off and just physically affect everything that I can. And then put my clutch cover back on, belt on, clutch cover on, get these wheels and tires swapped out, drop my oil filter, and I'll do a little comparison with the Can-Am. We're going to do her oil and filter. I'm also going to drop my transmission fluid. We won't worry about hers. She's only at 500 miles. But definitely going to do the oil changes on both rigs here. And then I think that's about it. So yeah, stay tuned. Let me get the off of here, and we'll do some inspecting and keep you updated on that. Hang on. Yep. Okay. One thing that's really nice about the Pro is everything's pretty easy to get to. So far, obviously, without doing extensive stuff. Doing the oil change, servicing things like that, getting the rear hatch off. Everybody raves about that. That's super nice. Heat shield is out of my way, and we will see what we can find in here. If I can get up on top here and try and scooch this out of the way. One way or the other. I'll get her opened up and see what we can find.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, who's here? Home from school? Yeah, hi. Blue, blue.
Okay, let's go get a treat.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Boo gets so excited when she gets home from school. Alright. This heat shield doesn't like to come completely out, but I'm just trying to get in here and get a closer look at all these little hoses. Looking for any little breaks or anything here. Not too much fun yet. From the blow-off valve, you can take that hose and pull this cover stuff all the way back. Just try and reveal the hose to look for any spots where it might have broke. It connects over here. Pull this back and inspect. Check for anything. No issues there. Yeah, this clamps here, I think I'm just going to tighten up these clamps just a little bit. They're part of the charge tubes here, if you will. This accordion type portion here. Just inspecting that for any cracks and trying to fold it open and look. I'm not seeing anything that stands out to me, so I'm trying to tighten those clamps down just a little bit. That blow-off valve is plastic and it may just be kind of leaking in there. Hopefully with the new air filter and after driving a little bit, the code will clear. I hate to go out on a ride with the engine light on, but definitely had, you know, a clogged air filter. So I'm doing what I can here, people. I'll keep you updated here. We're gonna probably just do an oil change next. Okay, we'll do a quick tighten down. Ooh, that doesn't feel tight at all. There's a spring there, but I want to cinch those down. I mean, that definitely wasn't tight at all. Come on, baby. Yeah, it's plastic cinching down onto, looks to be the turbo cast material. I would think that spring clamp should be pretty tight, so I'm going to snug her down a little bit. Just go for anything obvious. Yeah, it's starting to tighten up now. There's some more tension on it. Okay, I'm going to get to that bugger in there too. I'm going to grab a socket, extension ratchet. Okay, here's, just very, very little pressure I'm applying to get that to turn. It seems to be somewhat loose. That's tightening plastic charge tube over the cast. I do a lot of cold riding, hot, cold. Almost 4,000 miles here, so just tightening stuff up. I don't know if that's really going to help or not. They're saying that this little sensor deal that's mounted on what they call the firewall, it could be bad. It's common to go bad. They're saying the wires leading up to it will go bad, and you can't actually see that. But like I say, I'm hoping for the code to actually clear after riding a little bit. I could try and touch the, disconnect the battery and discharge the whole system of any power by touching the positive and negative terminals together. Possible damage to ECU, very rare, but possible. I don't really want to do that. It seems to be running pretty good still. There's no issues yet. I'm able to hit 8,000 RPMs over and over again, even with that engine light on. So hopefully it'll clear itself after key on off a few more times here. And I do not like rattles, so when I'm putting this heat shield back on, I will be using red Loctite on my threads, making sure to get things snug down all the way tight so it doesn't make noise when you're rocking in the woods. Okay, just in case I'm not explaining enough here, in the last video I had engine light come on, pulling an overboost, underboost code. Generally everything's always the belt, right? It's always the belt. Well, I've got the belt out. There seems to be no evidence of any major issues with it all the way around. Both sides I've got it cleaned, basically done soap, mild dish soap and water, and dried. Did that yesterday. Clutch is going back together now. They're cleaned up, dried. I did run a little like emery across the 400 grit sandpaper across the sheaves just to kind of clean anything, and just did that ever so lightly. Brand new, and then cleaned again, and didn't come up with much after sanding it. Just like to keep all those sheaves clean all the way around, yeah. Keep doing it until you don't see any dirt. Fresh rag, more cleaner, and then you can avoid having noises and slippage and things like that. Cover going back on, one thing I'll say about the Pros that's really, really nice is these bolts actually stay in the cover when you take the cover off. You don't need to hold these individually in your hand. They stay on. You can push them in and give them like a half turn here and get them started real quick and easy. What I call NASCAR stuff. Really, really nice that. We'll see how the Can-Am is here in just a few. The Milwaukee Fuel brushless 3/8 drive ratchet with a little extension and an 8mm socket. Carry it right in the back in your storage compartment. Super handy. I'm running a bigger battery because I got the other battery on the charger. This battery's out of my saw, and it really, really feels zippy. What a good tool. Gotta torque the tires. Oop, I need my socket for that too. The spine drive lugs. Getting your torque down, 100 foot-pounds. What I really need on this thing is what old Break It Jake got on Dirt Dudes there with his aftermarket Assassins Stage 3 kit or whatever. That would be sweet. Gonna really be singing. No one would keep up with me in the snow. No one would keep up with the pro in the snow with me behind the wheel. Yeah. I'm gonna double check air pressure always, even though I mounted these. I usually leave them a little overinflated. Yeah, around 20. I don't know how to use my gauge here. Yeah, 20 is exactly where they're at. So we'll drop them down to 15. 15 is what this, let's see, actually max pressure 18. So I might bump these ones down to like 12 in the front, 15 in the rear, and then to go lower if I want to once we're out there in the snow. I certainly don't want to pop a bead off or rip into a sidewall right away because I had the air set too low and then blame it on the tire. So I'm going to start off giving it a fair chance. Alright, so that's 12.5 in the front and 14 psi in the rear. And what I was doing was just watching for the outside lug to just contact the ground. With more air, it's pushing on the center of the tire, and these lugs, in particular the one that's sitting on the ground on there, sometimes you get both of them there, the edge of the lug was still curled up. So right at 14, I kept going from 15 down to 14. She's looking good. And 12.5 in the front, not as much weight up front with the engine being in the rear. And time to drop the oil. Okay, so I've got the oil draining. Yes, I have a drain pan, but I wanted to use a clear container, and VANESSA had a milk jug all cleaned out because she recycles all of our plastic. Isn't that nice? So I can really inspect it and just look for anything I don't like. Seems pretty good. I change it every 500 miles or sooner. I'm on the little bit sooner end of this oil change. Normally it'd be right at 4,000, but I've been running her hard in the snow, so hopefully that doesn't overflow. I have 3 quarts. I figured that'd be about right. Okay, so I'll get the filter off. Okay, I just removed the filter with my left hand. I literally just reached in there and spun it off of there. If you got a good grip, you should be able to do the same. Doesn't need to be over tightened. You can see it wasn't like leaking. And there's a little bit of buildup as normal around there. So yeah, it's not overflowing yet, but it's gonna be close, people. I'll stab that drain plug back in there with the new copper washer, banjo washer. It comes with the oil change kit. And we have the oil change kit here next to the Can-Am one. Mine was a little bit cheaper than hers. They usually run right around 50 bucks. And I've got some transmission fluid here too. So yeah, we'll get this going here. New washer in the bag here. New oil filter. You always want to make sure that your old washer came off your filter, and lube up the new washer with some oil. That's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to stab that before it overflows. So got a little bit of oil on the filter seal there. I'm going to reach in here. Done this a lot. It's pretty easy to do. whether you're taking this thing into the dealership or whatever. If you're kind of handy, definitely handle it. And I like to make a log of when I do stuff too. Did find out I did change my air filter on this thing at like just under 1,100 miles, 1,080. Use a little rag. Get a rag around this filter, get a good grip on it with my left hand, and try and suck her down pretty much as hard as I can by hand. You can usually get it back off by hand. Okay, time for some oil. I don't know about you guys, but these foil things on the top bother me. And I always am kind of anal about trying to get all of the foil off of there. Yeah, so be aware of not letting little foil chunks fall down into your motor. Motors are electric. I've got a large funnel, the cap off the valve cover there. She's pouring in. I know it's kind of dark. That heater's definitely noisy. So I want to pour it in too fast. There's a little baffle there in the valve cover. But again, the easy access. So we'll see how the Can-Am goes. I want to wait for VANESSA to get home from work here. And she probably wants to do it herself, I bet. And we've got 1, 2, 3 quarts total in the kit. I'll be pouring the oil out of that milk jug back into these sealed containers and then taking it to my work where I can recycle it. They come pick it up out of 50-gallon drums. The foil thing. Toolbox top drawer makes a nice camera cell phone holder there though. Okay, foil thing removed. Recycle, reuse, if we could. No, it's so easy to change the oil on the Pro though, so easy. I hope it's as easy on the Can-Am. I really want it to be. Okay, one thing I do look at there with the oil changes, it's filled both of those completely up, and then this one, you know, halfway full, so I've gotten 2.5 quarts out of it. We'll see how many quarts we get out of the Can-Am. I want to double check the capacity on that one too. It looks like this kit, let's pop it open and see. Oh, it's got kind of a baffle style filter, not a screw-on filter. O-ring. Couple deals there, and 4 quarts. So I want to make sure it's a full 4-quart system, or if it's like 3.5 or 3.8. I don't want to put extra oil in it that it doesn't want, so we'll be Googling that. Looks like Blue came to help. Should we change the transmission fluid now? Yeah, we'll drop the tranny fluid. Alright, let's see what we got here. So it takes 1,800, so 2 quarts, just less than 2 quarts. Alright. Okay, rear tranny, pretty easy to get to. Drain, it's real purple fluid. Yep, missed a little bit there. Kind of gushed out of there. Comes out a little quicker than the engine oil. Note. And the rear transmission fill spot is going to be less fun, just because I have my rear winch wiring here and rear receiver hitch plate that goes in there. But break that loose with the old 8mm Allen as well, just like the drain plug. And then you want to fill it on a level surface until it actually starts to pour out. Yeah, I've got this little contraption rigged up that normally fits on a bottle, oil bottle, but the mouth on this Polaris tranny AGL fluid is really big on the bottle, so pouring it through there, and honestly as I pour it in, which I can't do as I hold the phone here, the oil looks exactly the same as the oil I pulled out of it. Okay, I see oil coming back out. Purple, purple, purple. You see that? Yep. Purple coming back out. Put the plug in. Okay, now I just have to put mine back together here. Put the back in real quick. Hook up my air compressor to my wiring here, and then we'll wait for VANESSA to get home here and work on the Can-Am next. Stay tuned. There she is. Oh, she's home from work. And Blue's happy. Look at his tail wagging. Huh, Blue? Are you happy? Yes. Okay. So my oil change is done. Training oil change and all that. Do you want to do yours?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Good. Okay. So yeah, we'll figure out what we need to do. I wanted to look on Google and see exactly how many quarts it is. It came with 4. So we'll see how many quarts it is. Make sure we put the exact right capacity in there. I don't want to overfill it, as I said earlier. So we'll see how difficult this one is. I have a feeling it's not going to be as easy as the Polaris, but I want to be optimistic at the same time. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm mostly going to watch her do it. So you can watch with me. Get that broom. Get that broom, Blue. Get it. Get that broom. He just loves getting brooms. If you try and sweep something, it's like impossible because he'll just get it. All right, we are here. Looks like we found where the oil filter insert goes, and we're gonna get this thing draining real quick, and it shouldn't be too bad. No, so hang on. Okay, so access doesn't seem to be too bad here for the drain plug on the Can-Am. Get in there, break that loose with a 17mm, and then twist it up by hand. And put a funnel up above here so it doesn't make a huge mess to drain the skid plate. Oh, Blue. Yes. Yes. Okay, and we're draining, people. I do have a bit of a funnel set up there. Not super easy to get to, but not terrible. We'll see how the filter goes. Okay, a little bit more of a mess, not too bad though. I'm wondering how many quarts are in there because it was going to overflow or not. So the filter is in here. The old Milwaukee battery ratchet here. And it looks like I got a wire harness kind of in the way. Let's see if I can grab these bolts. Ooh. Yeah, okay. A little bit of an extension on there. Break it loose. Now, we should be able to see what we got in there. You want to pop that off of there. Nice. Okay, and we'll watch for O-rings. There's an O-ring in there. You want to take note of that because we're going to replace that. And then you might hold a rag up there so when you pull that out it doesn't drip all over everything, and you can kind of hold it with a rag. Blue Scott towels are always handy. And set that rag right over the black thing there. Yeah, yep. Perfect. Fancy fingernails and purple rings. You usually don't see that when you pull the filters out, do you? Okay, now is there something on the bottom of that bad boy too? Like an O-ring or something? Kind of looks like, yeah, that right there. Okay, so we just want to make sure that those come out and the new ones go in. Looks good, we just don't want to contaminate that, so we'll do a swap out here. It looks like our oil is seeping. We didn't overfill it, so I'm curious to see what capacity spec is. We still haven't looked at that, have we?
Nope.
Nope. We'll find that. It's about the same amount that I had in the Razor. It's only 2.5, 3 quarts. Okay, so no filter thing. Has a rubber on the bottom. There's that. Then we'll need this rubber for the cap. Oh, and so that other little spot, that other little 10mm drain plug, we might need to drop that, and we're going to get some more oil out of there, I'm guessing. Okay. There's another drain plug next to the big drain plug, and that might be why we're not getting all the oil here. Be okay. Yeah, I think we can just stab the filter back in for now. I'll put a new O-ring on the cap. So filter in. Should kind of feel it seat into something down there. That, yeah, it kind of twist and push. Feel it center and seat in. There you go. Yep. Just like on a car. Okay. And then new O-ring, so you already swapped that out? No, that'll have to come out, and then new one out of the package. Nice. Now you can get kind of slimy with oil and make sure it's, yeah, lubed up good so it doesn't bind or catch as they set that on. Okay, it looks like that cap probably just goes one way. There's a notch in it. Orientate that notch. It's like directly back, huh?
That way?
Well, I'm not sure. I think that would be, looking at the bolt pattern, it seems like the notch comes to the back, to the rearward of the motor. Yeah, that's how I would guess. Yep, that looks good. So it came off. Okay. Now, we'll tighten that up. The 3 bolts, you can get those started by hand. And then the oil fill is on the other side where you can see it right there, that yellow cap. So there's a funnel with a little hose on it. Should be able to fill it up. Yeah, twist the top. Blue's still working on that broom over there. Get it, Blue. I'm getting it. Okay, I would probably put that little 8mm socket on a regular little green ratchet that I had over there and give them a little hand crank, not too tight, but just so you know that they're getting snug. Kind of feel how tight they go. That's something we'll want to be able to service, obviously, every 500 miles. That one's not going to go without an extension, but those ones, yeah. Oh, in reverse. There we go. Nice. See, that wasn't quite tight enough. I don't want oil coming out of there when you're hitting 8,000 RPMs. Now make sure you get your extension on there and get that other one too. You getting oily, are you? Yeah. Sucks, doesn't it? Welcome to my world. So it's important to have good tools. You know, she's working with Snap-on in Milwaukee. Some of my favorite brands. Good job. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna work on getting this oil cleaned up here. We want to get that 10mm drain plug draining though, I guess, and see what's happening there. Let me find something to catch some more oil. Okay, we're trying to get to that other drain plug now. Let's see if we got more oil coming out of this thing. Why do they have 2 drain plugs? Who knows? Seems like a fun thing to do. I believe. Can you get that broom? He is on a mission. Looks like she got it broke loose too, huh? Alright, just twisting. See how much oil comes out of this thing. Through the hole.
Can you take it all the way out on the video or just loosen it?
Might just be a
There it
breather.
goes.
More oil?
But I don't know where it's going.
Oil or?
There it goes.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Okay, so pull that bolt all the way out and we'll replace the little washer on that bad boy. We'll seal.
Nothing.
No washer there. Okay, there's a washer in the package, so you're going to want to feel up in there, maybe use your fingernail, scrape. Look, we need to make sure it's not stuck to the block. We can't have two washers going back on.
I don't feel anything.
Okay, I'm going to take a look, I guess. And look at both surfaces, because it didn't look like there was really... Well, I guess, yeah, there's the washer for that one, and we have a new one there. So I want to know where that little brass guy is, which I think there was one on there. It's certainly not stuck to the block now. Okay. Yeah. I'll wait for it to stop dripping and look at it again. It must be laying. But it dropped off since the bolt kind of fell. And then we're ready to put some oil in this thing, and we'll look up capacity real quick. I'm blue. Let's see what capacity is. Okay, it's confirmed from Can-Am site there, 3.7 quarts is what we're after, and blue still going for the broom. So almost all 4 quarts. Put a new little banjo washer on the little bolt and reinstall it. You want to get that in there? Or you want me to do it?
I can do it.
All right. So you hear that? She said she can get it. She got it started. Now, when you tighten it down with that, you want to get it nice and snug because you will want to kind of crush that the copper washer there. Want me to hold that?
Sure.
See if I can get it in a better spot where you can actually see in there. Nice. Yeah, that's plenty. It is a little bold. Yep. Okay. Good. Oh, and now time for the big drain plug with the new, looks like an aluminum washer of some sort. And then you can see the amount of like metal shavings or whatever on the magnet in the center of your drain plug, because that's a magnet in there. Very minimal. I always like to wipe it though with the rag, so we're starting fresh. You can watch your accumulation. Like, oh, this oil change, I got a whole bunch of fuzzies on there, which wouldn't be good. But yeah, you can see these fuzzies, very minimal on there. Very good. Yep. Okay, after the phone dropped, she got the big drain plug started, and she can turn and switch that socket out to the 17 millimeter so she can tighten up the big drain plug.
Maybe.
Oh boy, I'd help, but I gotta hold this camera and the light in the wrong spot. There. Okay, she's going in for the drain plug. Yeah, I think I prefer just going underneath the vehicle through the hole with an Allen wrench socket and doing, no, I mean on the Polaris. You gotta go through here this way, kind of be a contortionist and hurt your
You able
wrist.
to get it on there though?
Yes, yep. Oops. Where are you going with that broom? What are you doing? There. Nice and tight?
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Okay. Alright, let's fill her with oil. Check it. Fill it with oil. Okay. We're on the other side of the vehicle now. You see that yellow? It's your dipstick. If we can see it, yep, there it is. Okay. And then now we're gonna see how much hose it's gonna take to get down in there. Wipe this real good. Flush that one with brake parts cleaner so there's no tranny fluid in there. Filling up the Polaris. Okay, let's see how we can configure. And wipe the funnel down from all the old oil, bad oil, used oil, I should say. I think we'll get her jigged up here and be able to pour the oil in to that flexible hose and then shove this connects onto there. And then that into there. Yeah, I think you'll be able to two-handedly pour oil in there. Okay, so let's get some new oil. Okay, here. Yep, we got foil. We got foil. Get this foil off of here. Not any pieces contaminating the Can-Am. Okay, pretty clean. There you go. One open jug of oil. I'll leave the lid over here so we can pour the old oil back in there. It doesn't give you a lot of room to tip, does it?
No, but I'm in down there.
Let's make sure. Yes, it is in. It's confirmed. You're gonna waste your expensive oil. Okay, well, it's not super convenient, but it's almost better than I thought. Oh shoot, my bad, sorry. Keep the light on there for you. It's okay, we have 4 quarts, you only need 3.7. And I'm sure that Apple Watch likes a little dousing of oil every once in a while. I was thinking we were gonna have to pull that whole top back cover thing off though, and that's a pain. Pulled mats off once for them. We were looking for a boost leak, and yeah, it's 30 to 40 bolts.
Jeez.
And then it still doesn't want to come off. It's like a puzzle to get the thing out of there between the roll cage and stuff. I watch side-by-side blog guys fighting with it too.
You're gonna get dripped on, buddy.
Yeah, don't. What are you doing?
You're gonna get dripped on.
Don't go down there. You know what watch out means. Okay, we're gonna need another quart. I'll get her another quart.